I've recently become a little obsessed with these BRAUN clocks. There's a black one and a white one. They were designed in 1981 and they still look fantastic. Just so happens that black and white are my favorite colors. So here we are, starting with a roughly 11.5 inch square of pre-painted 1/2 inch plywood. Here I am finding center, defining which sides at the top, and then orienting the circle on top of the frame. I then laid out a 10 inch circle as the outline, and crept in, creating the outer boundaries of the hour and minute ticks. Then I laid out a space for the numbers to go. I first got 3, 6, 9, and 12 spots using a square. Then I use a set of dividers to create equal ticks at the hours and minute marks. I'm sure I could have used a protractor and some fancy angles to figure this out, but the dividers were an easy solution. Here's the clock hands that I already had on, hand. I just gave them a little scuff so I can paint them, starting with white primer. I put a nail into the center and used a square to make sure that all my ticks were radially aligned. I used my wood burning tool to create larger hour ticks with a wide brass tip. Then I switched to a narrow wire tip to create the minute ticks. This was an oddly meditative process, just counting down the minutes. I used the same wire tip to burn the logo into the center. I started with a wide tool for the numbers, but had to make a change. Right now they don't look as crisp as I wanted them, so I'll fix that later. I'm now laying out the hands to paint the tips. The tip of the second hand will be painted until it hits the hour hand. The hour tip extends to the top of the logo, and the minute tip extends to the inner circle of the number area. I knock back the stickiness of the tape on my pant leg. This makes it so it doesn't rip off the white paint that it's meant to mask. I didn't like the yellow that I had on hand, so I'm mixing a little blue into it to make it more cool. You only need a little. Too much of it and it turns green pretty quickly. I just had to seal the hands together with the face. I love it when a project starts to come alive. The 1/2" ply is a little thick for the mechanism, so I used a router to recess it into the back. Then I drilled the hole for the axis. I guess that's what that could be called. I'm now outlining the numbers so they're a little bit more crisp. I'm wearing a respirator and I set up a fan to keep the smoke out of my face during this whole burning process. We can now bring in the 3/4" ply with a 10" hole that I cut from last week. I made the frame on the back to use a French cleat to mount it to the wall. Then a quick sand. Some Danish oil to help the grain pop. I had a piece of plexiglass that I took from an old job when I decommissioned a tool. I forgot to shoot it, but I drilled and countersunk the screws into the plex. I countersink before I drill to make sure the edges of the countersink are nice and clean, not choppy. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next week.